Hey, what's up guys? Today we're just going to talk about why I chose a TRD Off-Road 2017 model instead of, the rest of the options that are out there. And specifically we're going to be talking about Tacomas only. So to me, I think the Tacoma is kind of the best. They call them mid-size, some call them small size, whatever, pickup trucks. I'm going to say small size because I don't know if I've seen any smaller trucks in recent history. When I think of small trucks, I think back to the first gen Tacomas and stuff like that that's out there. But anyway, to each his own. I'm not a great terminology scientist, mother trucker here, but I do what I can, guys. I'm not very big of a truck guy. This is the first truck I'm modding, just so you know. So I'm kind of new to this still. But I have owned 3 trucks prior, but now I finally have come to grips after buying an F-150. Getting a feel for the F-150s and stuff like that was very bland. It was like a city truck that I got down around $10,000, and then I jumped up. And so now we are here with the Tacoma TRD Off-Road 2017 here in 2020. And I'll tell you why I went with this model. And mainly it's because of budget for the year, but I really wanted the model, the off-road, specifically for the capabilities. I know there's the TRD Pro and the TRD Sport. 2 of those just weren't appealing to me. And really the off-road was the one that shined, mainly because of what I do for work. And the fact that I have to haul stuff. So I'm already getting a pickup truck. I'm already subscribing to the idea that that bed is going to be used, in which, by the way, the bed is a 6-foot bed. I went with the long bed version, which has been really nice. I don't like the short beds of the Tacoma, and that's just because I like a long bed space. I came from an F-150, so I wanted to kind of keep some of the F-150 characteristics of being a nice long bed with me. But anyway, I digress. Really, the off-road was the rear locking differential. Now the Pro has that, but the Sport does not. And also the crawl controls are really nice. And for work, I go off-roading probably every other weekend. There's some obstacles, like a lot of jagged rocks, a lot of things I've run into, where it'd be nice to have, specifically, not just a 4-wheel drive, but a rear locking differential and some crawl controls for some hills I have to climb. And when it gets muddy and rainy, that's really a problem. And I'll be hitting the ranges pretty much year round, even in the snow. So that is something that's important to me. And the Sport just didn't have the rear locking differential or the crawl control, but the Pro does. Now, the Pro is something that's a little bit more spending in my opinion. I'm going to upgrade this truck anyway. I'm going to add new tires, new wheels. I'm gonna mod it out anyway. The things I couldn't mod out, or at least I couldn't easily mod out, were the crawl controls and the rear locking differential. So that's why I decided, okay, this is my base, and then I can upgrade to some of the Pro features, which I see as aesthetics, or some of the upgrades are really nice to have, but more so of things that are more easily to add on if you're going from the Sport to a Pro rather than, in sense of a Sport to a Pro rather than a off-road to a Pro. So there's a lot of factors that you guys might want to consider in there, so keep that in mind. And so yeah, that's really why I went with the off-road version. Now, a lot of people said, oh hey, go with an SR5 and just upgrade it. Honestly, yes, you could do that, and you probably could get similar performances, but again, it comes down to you're losing the rear locking differential and the crawl controls. Anyway guys, and there are some aesthetics things you get with the Sport rather than the off-road, that I will say is nice. I like the hood scoop, I like the look of the hood scoop, but it's not functional. So I was going for a functional truck rather than a look truck. I mean, if you're a truck guy, you're going for function, right? And you can go be a car guy if you want to go do all the looks and stuff like that, in my opinion. So but yeah, let's go ahead and get into the cab. We'll show you around and give you some of the features inside there that are really nice. I freaking love the cab, to be honest, and the seats are super comfortable. For me, I will be honest, they sit a little low, so there is that. I was going again from an F-150 to a more of a larger size, not a large size truck, but more of a larger size truck than the Tacoma. And I was moving into the Tacoma from there, so seating wise it was just a little bit lower. I should also mention, me and my wife plan on having kids in a few years, so we needed something that was going to be able to fit some kids. Also guys, I forgot to mention this, but the shocks are completely different in this. the TRD Off-Road versus the TRD Sport. This utilizes Bilstein shocks, and that's all I really freaking know, to be honest. I do know that these shocks, this suspension system is more suited for off-road, but the suspension system on the Sport is better on-road. So you're probably gonna have a smoother ride on pavement with the Sport and a smoother ride off-road with the off-road. So, but yeah, that's my spiel, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for coming along with me, seeing why I chose the off-road rather, and I'll be making more content as things go along, more thoughts develop. But as far as day one, I am super excited. So thank you guys. Take care.